Hello everybody, this is True Demon, Devil Stockbroker, bringing an update on some of the plays that we've got going on today. This is going to be a really short and quick one. First, we'll take a look at Progenity. Progenity recently just made an exit out of this zone of supply that we had marked out here several weeks ago. This area of supply was resting between $1.20 and $1.60, and ever since we broke through the bottom of it, that was pretty much what I was expecting to be the catalyst for it to make its next leg upward. This is the lowest that Progenity had been since it hit its gap. It actually had filled this gap way back here, and I cannot recall the name of the individual that called this gap out to me, but he was just about right. It stopped just short of the gap fill, but it was close enough that I'd say that that was a pretty accurate call. So I apologize that I don't have your name offhand, but if I find it, I'll thank that user explicitly in the description of this video. In any case, looking a little bit closer, this was the exact trends that I was looking at. Progenity had been in this bull flag for quite a while, a couple trading weeks now, and after it had bounced off of this bottom here at $1.10, that was just below that zone of supply that I expected, and boom, suddenly we got some volume coming in, and it went straight through the bull channel's resistance and the overall downtrend. So this downtrend was following the entire chart from previous resistance and support signal lines, and followed the supports and the lowest lows in the chart ever since then. So, oops, move that back over there. Thank you, TradingView, for having an undo button. So now that we have broken this was my buy signal. As soon as I saw that we broke through this support, I went and hit buy with basically every spare piece of capital that I had. Progenity's upside is looking really nice. So what I'm looking at here is for some resistance here at $1.80. That's right where we tap, and broke below. So expect some people to take some profits and also get out of their positions, just day traders and swing traders that are looking to exit at $1.80. That's likely where we'll meet some resistance. And then above that, we have another spot here at $2 precisely. So these are the levels that I'm looking at for Progenity. I will expect these levels to be tested within the next several weeks to 30 days. Right now, the thing that's moving the stock seems to be the overall market, and additionally the disclosure of brand new patents that were finally released, and it's good news for the company. We'll cover that in another DD a little bit later. Speaking of the overall market, the SPY has finally hit a rebound point, and it looks like it's filled this gap that it made here back on Monday. So currently it is retesting this gap at the moment. From here, we can expect quite a bit more resistance. The chart hasn't developed yet, so until there is a clear direction established from after it meets this resistance and decides which way it's going to go, there's really no telling. It had a inverted head and shoulders pattern, which it broke the neckline and then ran up at this point and filled the gap, then came back down sharply and gapped down in the morning, and then now it's been running ever since to retest that resistance. So we're going to see what it does in reaction to this. If it completes the gap fill, then I would expect the market to return to favorable direction, especially if the Fed tries to calm fears down, and that would end up being good for a few other plays that we have in the works. Moving on to our next squeeze play, this is BBIG, which we can see has had a run from its lowest low of $2.54, or $2.53. So after it had bounced off of this, it established a trend rising like so for several days, 2 days. And it established this upper wedge here. this is currently what I'm looking at for a short-term trend, just to see what direction it decides to go, but I think it's probably going to consolidate further than this, and that's why I've set this support and resistance here at $3 and $3.30. If it breaks down below the $3 mark, expect some bearishness, but for a while I expect us to stay range bound, maybe for the rest of the week, but we will see. Currently, BBIG is awaiting the news on Cryptide, and these moves signal to me that maybe somebody knows something, but it's not exactly clear. The volume is significant, but it's not so significant that it guarantees the move is going to return to the direction that we had earlier last month, earlier in this month. So we just have to wait and see if the trend continues and if we establish a new higher low here before making another leg upward. If we do, I expect the trend to follow something like this, but we'll adjust that as we go. Currently, my big resistance is at $3.30. From here, you see we have this cliff and basically nothing between. So after 330, we have some resistance possibly at 360, and then nothing until about 385, $4. And just to recap on a couple of side plays we've got here, Pfizer just announced that they are doing a vaccine trial for Omicron, which is it's right on time with their schedule, which is an extremely good sign for them. Pfizer will likely seek emergency approval as soon as they get clinical data, which will probably take another couple months. I've seen most of their trials complete within 1 month, and then the FDA only takes a few weeks to grant them an emergency approval. So for that reason, I would be looking at Pfizer to make a move based on this. It may already be priced in, but I currently still have a position with a max profit to take at $54. So once we hit this resistance up here, I might be looking to get out of that position and then wait for a re-entry and take a further out expiration on some calls. That's just the way I'm playing it. I think that Pfizer is likely going to make some much bigger moves in the future. It came down only after the market started to show a huge downturn, but it's been moving against the market's overall trend regardless. So even though the market is selling off broadly, Pfizer is still holding up its price pretty well. And currently, just with the progress that Pfizer's made with the COVID vaccines and also treatments, I expect them to continue to break the trend and outperform the market. In addition to that, we've got Nike. This was a play called out in the Discord. And currently, it seems to be forming an inverse head and shoulders pattern that we can see here. You see we've got our two shoulders right here. It's a little bit vague here on the 30-minute chart, so let's bring that to the 15-minute. There we go. So we've got a head and shoulder. It's a little bit jagged because of this gap down here, but you know, morning volatility, sometimes it messes with these. So we've currently got the two shoulders, and we're about ready to cross this neckline right here. As a matter of fact, we did cross the neckline. So Nike looking to make a move if it is able to continue on this trend, and it seems to be moving with the market. So if the market does return to a bullish pattern, then I would be expecting a little bit of resistance at 150, and then if it is able to cross that, then we have this gap fill up here to 157. So that's very nice. It would be more than a 10. That would be doing a little bit of head math. I believe that would be about a 7.5% move, if I'm doing the math correctly in my head. But in any case, with Nike's current low being at 140, and I imagine that Nike is not going anywhere, it tested this lower low, and ever since that had happened back in October, they were basically in a straight channel that was practically 45-degree vertical just going straight to $180. So if you're in this for the long play and you like Nike shoes, then this might be a good long play. I would just be playing a day trade to try and fill this gap over the next couple of months. So for me, I'm looking to make an entry here as we enter consolidation here in this range between $1.45 and $1.50, and maybe we'll see if we can hit. Maybe we'll see if we can set ourselves a target somewhere in this range here. That's pretty much going to cover all the plays for today. Sorry, this is just a quick update that I'm able to get out in between work. I'm extremely bullish on Progenity right now. This is the move that I've been waiting for quite a while, and seeing us break both of these lines in a single move is that was all the confirmation that I had needed. I would love to see a little bit more volume come into it, but I see that we are already testing our previous volume levels, and this was actually so with this move here, we've broken past several areas of resistance and filled a very short gap here. So if this were to continue to test these levels, yeah, I like Progenity for $1.80 for the next month. I'm actually going to I'm just going to be buying shares for the most part, though, since I'm looking for an opportunity to make a lifetime investment in this company. For a short squeeze, I mean, the short interest is above 9%, which is it's still a lot. Even by today's standards, it's not what we're used to seeing, like with so many stocks being manipulated at more than 20-25% short interest like BBIG is. But Progenity is still a really excellent company, good biotech play that has established safe capital that will keep them alive for at least the next 2 years. And they're performing really well. They've got clinical data to support 2 of their products now, and they've already established multiple partnerships. With 2 confirmed partnerships, or at least as close to confirmed as we can get without an official announcement, Progenity seems to be partnering with Ionis and Atlantic Healthcare, as shown from a few. Well, I'll just show you right here. This is some of the DD that was being done. A user, Ecom47, thanks very much for going out and finding this. But there were several members of Atlantic Healthcare that were explicitly mentioned in several of the patent documents for Progenity's latest patent. If we are to go in a little bit further here, you can go ahead and read through this patent. I'll go ahead and provide a link to this in the description of this video so that you can follow up on this for yourself. We'll go ahead and get this patent out there for everybody to go and review. But that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and have a hell of a time in the markets.